Hello.
Hello. Oh look, YouTubers. Thomas got back from his day out in Durham.
Sort of a morning out, really, but yes. Yes, indeedy. It's warm in here. Ugh.
You returned with your treasures.
I returned with some t-shirts, yes.
And you had to change out your card.
I did. I changed out my card, finally. 8 gigs.
All 8 gigabytes.
All 8 gigs. 8 gigs is a lot bigger than what a lot of people realize.
Yeah, it is. Well, it's basically 2 days worth of videoing. Well, 2.5, 3 maybe. If you're not going at it hard and heavy.
Hard and heavy. So yeah, man, I walked around a bit. Ended up walking through this residential neighborhood. And then all the way, sort of looped kind of all the way back around again. And then, yeah, bought some stuff. Had a couple of pints at the library and watched France beat Australia.
Huh, that's too bad.
And, yeah. Yeah, so. And I thought I'd come back because carrying that bag around is annoying.
Oh, yeah, absolutely it is.
So, yeah. Hit the restroom here.
So, Joe Kersey here on Saturday, June 16th, 2018, in Durham, England at 14:07 British summertime. Why, Joe, why aren't you out and about? You might be asking. Well, as you may have noticed, old Joe's been kind of pissing and moaning about really bad pain in his leg and hip and lower back the last few days. And I decided prudence would be the better part of valor today and just sort of take it easy here in the hotel room, which I have done. I think it'll pay off here. I think I'll probably be able to get on the move again tomorrow, but if not, that's okay. I'll at least be good for the trip home. So it's Tony Pincham's birthday today. Happy birthday, Tony. Tony's down in Nottingham having some ale. Good. So enjoy the little video there of the baby, the baby cygnet making its first appearance there from underneath the mother's wing. It's been attracting quite a crowd today down there by the bridge. There's been many people clustering around looking at this little creature. We had some rain this morning. I don't think it rained very much at all than the rest of the day, although they had indicated it might. Anyway, there was no way I was going to be able to get out and move around anyway. So that was that. Don't think for me, camera. Don't think for me.
Fuck you. Fuck you, you fucking camera. Don't fucking think for me.
A classic opening. As Ed says, left is right, right is left, left is right, right is left. Are we even recording?
I don't know, man. Yes.
We are?
Yes.
I don't see the red dot.
I do.
Where? Oh, I do see the red dot.
It's right by
well, it's up in the vulva.
The vulva.
Yeah, it's up in the vulva. Again, perfidious Albion, huh?
What am I doing here?
I don't know. You're doing some sort of yoga. Have you got your lemon jello pants on, or whatever the hell they call those
lemon
things?
Jello?
What are those things those women wear?
Orangelo?
A girl named Shithead.
Fuck, China.
What's that company called that makes those?
Lululemon.
Oh, Lululemon, the ones that they show the camel toes and things. Yeah.
The massively overpriced yoga pants.
Well, I mean, what do they make them out of? I mean, gossamer? What?
Yeah, nothing organic. Nothing. I mean,
Do they make them for dudes?
yeah, they have.
It'd be
they have
amazing to see a dude wearing one of those.
Well, the dude pants are slightly different, but yeah, they do.
I should hope so.
Yeah.
Unless the dude's going to castrate himself first.
There's a certain kind of guy that wears Lululemon pants, though. So
Is it a transgender sort of guy?
no,
Oh.
no,
Well, I
it's a
don't
dude
know.
that wears yoga pants. There's a certain kind of dude
Oh.
that wears yoga pants.
I don't think I've ever seen a guy wearing yoga pants.
There you go. There you go. Right.
Of course, I don't run in those circles, but
Well,
which isn't to say I might not find some of those circles interesting.
I'm going to send you this video that Kelly's got of this dude teaching yoga. And you can just watch it with the sound off, because I know you'll appreciate it. It's like a pirate teaching yoga.
Pirates.
Arr.
Arr.
Arr! Bend forward into sun salutation! Arr!
Well, it's like it's like it's like
Masharana Piranahana!
it's like the guy the video the YouTuber That's Brad it says let's see work like a captain, play like a pirate.
Nice.
Yeah. And he's got, of course, in the image, he's got this big pirate, thing, Work like a captain, play like a... Which is actually a pretty nice ethic, you think about it.
I think there's a certain part of me that would be really good at being like a pirate ship captain or like a submarine captain. Like an attack sub captain. There's a certain part of me that likes that whole, like, I'm just going to camp out here for 2 weeks, and I'm gonna, because I know you're gonna come by eventually.
Wait and see what. Well, it's like sniper. I think I would have made, except for some of the more field crafty skills. Which are what keep you from getting killed. I think I would have made a good sniper.
Yeah. Whenever I play Call of Duty or Fortnite, I love being the sniper. I will go and I will camp out, and I will find a bush or a tree or something, and I will hide out, and I'll just pick people off left and right.
Very few people could outweight me. Very few people had the patience to outweight me.
Yeah. Well,
I'd sit outside that office door for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours, and eventually then I'd get to see who I wanted to see.
Who are we talking about here?
I'm just talking about just
random office?
managing my life in general.
Random offices?
Well, just...
Who we were waiting to
Well,
see?
if you want to see a professor...
Well, don't they just have office hours you can show up to?
Yes, they ostensibly, but as we all know, ostensibly doesn't mean it's going to happen. That means you got to figure out plan A, plan B, plan C.
One thing I've noticed about you, Dad, is that you have a completely Joe Kersey way of managing the universe, regardless of what everybody says or how things are doing, right? And like all the information that's provided, you're just like, well, I'm just going to do it this way.
That's right.
Our office hours are this.
Impose your will.
Our office hours are this.
Impose your will on the universe.
But I'm going to sit outside your office at non-office hours for 6 hours.
Impose your will.
I don't know that that's... I think that's a poor use of your time.
Well, I wasn't just sitting there with my thumb up my behind. I was reading. I was doing other things. I was being productive. Let us not forget that university is basically, sitting around for three or 4 years and doing nothing but reading. Well, inhaling
and drinking,
and inhaling all sorts of volatile solvents in organic chemistry lab. I'd come out of organic chemistry lab at 5 o'clock on an afternoon, from out of Evan's lab, and you roll down to Baker Hall to have dinner, and I'm thinking, a lot of times I was I don't know if I'm going to make it down to dinner tonight, and you just sort of like, I hope I'm going to be able to put out some urine tomorrow morning. I hope my liver works tonight. It's just like, Because you're just inhaling, pet ether and diethyl ether
sure.
and chloroform.
Of course, nowadays, you'd be doing all this stuff under a hood and all this.
Well, we were supposed to, but nobody did that shit under the hood. I mean, you're working against the time limit here. You've got to, you got to get those laboratory exercises done. Oh, I shouldn't probably do that with my leg right now. Getting enthused and happy, banging my leg.
Bang your leg. I'm a close talker. I don't know.
I'm a close talker.
Should we turn on the light?
No, it's like being in a damn airport. That light.
Airport.
We're gonna be seeing those lights right in our eyes soon enough.
I like how we're using the Leica stand, but not the Leica.
Yeah, I just don't jump from side and pull that boy out and take a picture of you tonight.
You need to commit to tomorrow just to use the Leica.
I need to commit to tomorrow, deciding whether I'm going to walk around and keep myself fit for travel. So I need to do tomorrow.
Well, think about that before you purchase a ticket for this tour of the castle.
Well, before I even think about purchasing a ticket for the tour, that means I got to climb the hill. I'm going to find out how much that bus costs to run. So when I come back, I'll just take that bus up the hill every day.
I honestly, frankly, I'm surprised that you haven't been taking the bus every freaking day.
I wouldn't have had to done any of this stuff. I could have just sat happily on that bus, going up.
Because a lot of these buses are like hop on, hop off. Buy a 2 week pass.
Yeah, I got to look into that.
Buy a 2-week pass, and you can hop on and hop off probably whenever the hell you want.
Yeah.
And basically, you only spend your time when you're here, between here and
various pubs.
And the routes between here and the cathedral.
Yeah.
So one bus route will do it, and you're set.
Yeah. Eat, drink, pray.
Well, it's raining fairly vigorously now.
Eat, drink, pray. Yes, it is.
I actually came back. If I'd been out much longer, I would have been. Well, I had my rain jacket on.
No, there you are.
Now, if I want to go by.
See, this is not the time of year. I'm not going to ever come back this time of year again. Well, except when I come back with you and Carter.
If I want to go buy action figures.
I
think it's going to happen. Sorry, Carter. I thought about it.
Yeah, I'll come back in early May or mid-late September. Yeah, so I can easily wear my nice long black, I look like everybody else in Britain jacket. You've seen it.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
It's the Carhartt.
Like
Carhartt jacket, yeah.
5 years.
Really?
For Carter.
Well, he'll only be what?
That'd be maybe about 15.
Not quite 15.
Yeah. Young enough, but see, here's why. Maybe 15, maybe 6 years.
You won't drink.
Well,
you won't go to the pub.
Fuck it. Well, we can go in the pubs. He just can't come. He just can't drink.
He can go. I ain't gonna fly with him.
Well, then you're gonna turn him loose. He'd be fine. 15. At 15, he'll be fine.
I know he'll be fine.
Here's the thing, though. 15 or 16. Well, I guess we could wait till he's 18.
Well,
because you're old enough to drink. 18 is a drinking age over here.
Yes, they're still sensible over here. Idiots like you.
Here's the thing. I want him to come over while he's still young enough to be able to have that sense of wonder. So I still have the sense of wonder.
I do too.
But not like I did when I was over here in '95.
That's true.
Not like when I was standing there in Ely or in Lincoln, and I'm just like,
well, see, we were
blown away.
We were traveling around. See, it's interesting now. I've been here now a number of times, and I find myself as the week or 2 weeks goes on, I find that I'm saying to myself, well, you're just kind of walking by all this stuff, kind of taking it for granted.
I know. Well, and I've noticed that.
Yeah.
I noticed that.
Yeah.
I've been doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Last night at Evensong, I took a moment to contemplate that, and I was like looking around. I'm like, just remember, dude.
And then you just go walk right out anyway. Yeah.
You're in this 880 plus, to 900-year-old plus building.
Well, that's because it's a working church. I mean, you go in there and they're not treating it like a museum. This is a working church.
Right, it is. It is.
Yeah.
But anyway, but so I guess the point that I'm trying to make is when I was over here in '95,
the first time you walk into any of these places, it's.
I mean, I was just like,
you feel like the floor is opened up underneath you, and you're just like, why haven't I been here all the time?
Sure. But again, the point that I'm trying to make is that first of all, I don't remember Durham very well from when we were here in '95.
Really?
Well, it was it was later in the trip.
Well, you were getting the hots for Glastonbury,
and I was no. Jesus Christ! But it was later in the. Just let it go, man. It was later in the trip. Glastonbury was done. We'd already done Glastonbury.
No. We drove down to Glastonbury from Durham.
Great. Okay, so I wasn't getting the hots for Glastonbury then because I had no idea what I was getting into. No, I wasn't.
He talked about Glastonbury the whole damn trip.
No, I didn't.
Yes, he did.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I talked about it after going to Glastonbury because I loved it so much.
I will say the King William IV was a good pub. We stayed there 4 days.
In any case, we were only in Durham. Pub. We were only in Durham for like a day. All right, and if we even went to the cathedral by that point, I don't remember it.
Oh, we went to the cathedral.
Well, I'm sure we did, but I don't remember it.
Oh.
So my point is that I walked in the cathedral here the first time when we arrived.
Did I just hear that?
Jesus Christ, you're impossible.
I'm sorry.
Fuck, you're rude.
I know.
So I walked in the cathedral the first time here, and it's.
I'm sorry.
You're in this mind-blowing cathedral, and it's incredible. But I'm not experiencing it with 20-year-old eyes. And like I want Carter to experience it.
Good point.
With eyes young enough to be like, whoa, this is like fucking. Because basically every single place we went in '95, including, I mean, I vaguely remember the cathedral in '95, but every single place I saw in '95 was mind blowing. Mind blowing.
Well, it was because we saw a number.
We saw all kinds of shit, but everything was.
Canterbury.
Well, and we're staying in inns that are like like this has been an inn for 400 years, and you're like, what?
Peterborough.
You're like, what? It's mind blowing.
Lincoln, Durham.
And I want Carter's experience to be mind blowing. And I want him to understand, like, you're sitting in a place.
Glastonbury.
Like
Salisbury, Winchester.
Yeah.
Then into London with the Christopher Wren, ugly, known as St. Paul's. They should have rebuilt the old St. Paul's the way it was, but they didn't. But anyway,
what I'd like you to do,
which has a great window to the dead airmen in World War II, right at the East End, in the apse past the East End.
Okay, two total random asides. One, I'm looking out the window here. I love the fact that the British people have all these toddlers on leashes. And this is fantastic.
Oh no, she's got that one harnessed up, doesn't she?
That's a he.
Oh, that's right.
That's a dude.
Yeah.
But I have seen no fewer than like 9 toddlers today harnessed up on these backpack leashes.
Very nice.
That is fantastic. We need
to look.
Yeah, see, look at this. He's trying to run. He's trying to run, but he just can't. He's on a leash.
The kid's acting like a sled dog. He's helping his dad go up that hill.
Yeah.
Now that's the way to do it.
Well, I saw that on the hill. I was sitting at the library today, and like all these moms, these kids are like, it's like,
use that child as a sled dog. Absolutely.
So okay, side point 1. Okay. Side point number 2. You have an assignment. You have a homework assignment when we return home.
Okay.
What I'd like you to do, please, is because I stopped keeping a travel journal in '95. Yeah. I got 5 or 6 days in, and then I was like,
"Oh, I've got that. I do have that little notebook.
What I'd like you to do is, from memory or not, I'd like you to provide. I understand you said it once, but what I'd like you to do is provide a day by day, like. Today we went here. Today we went here. Yeah. It doesn't have to be super long. Just a list.
No. I've got the list of where we were because that way I coordinate with the slides.
Just to refresh my memory.
When I went through, I labeled when I got the slides back, I labeled
when we get home, please just email me a quick list of date we went here, date we went here.
You want a PDF or RTF format?
So an email's fine.
Well, it'll be email, but you want like in a PDF file. on the or just an RTF, like a rich text
I
file
don't
on
care.
as part of the email?
Whatever works for you.
I like RTFs myself.
I can deal with any file you give.
I don't like PDFs in general because I don't like Adobe Reader. I don't. Do you like Adobe Reader?
So yeah, just I don't care what format, just a dates.
Well, some people
and then where we went.
Some guys, have a real hard on that format.
And you can make it as detailed as you want.
Oh no, this won't be detailed because
Just boom, 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 boom.
because by the time I made those notes, I was dead tired. I had probably about like 7, 8, 9, 10.
Well, that's the problem. Is like I'm keeping sort of a note log here on this trip, but fortunately, most of our trip is got up, ate, drank beer, church, drank beer, church,
eat, drink, pray,
ate, drank, bed.
Eat, drink, pray, bed. Well, eat, bed. Yeah. Now, isn't that a nice way to live your life?
It is. I told Kelly that one of these summers that I wanted to do one of these 1 week stays out here, like in Iowa, like with the the Cistercians, or with the and there's a
Benedictines.
Well, the Cistercians are in Iowa, and or I might have it mixed. There's Cistercians either in Iowa or Idaho, and then there's Benedictines either in the opposite.
Well,
but both of them,
Michigan. Yeah.
But either way, both of them give you, it's like
I
it's
think
the
there's
1
some in
week.
Kentucky too.
Well, yeah, but that's. Oh no, they're Franciscans. But I think they follow the Benedictine rules, so maybe that works.
Well, it's not like they live in house trailers. It's not like that you pull up into the.
Well, what I want to do is I told Kelly before you do your what I want to do is I want to take I'll buy the package, right? Fly out there, give me the robe. I'll spend a week with you, living as you live, like as a monk. I told Kelly I wanted to do this, and she said I was like insane for wanting to do that. So I thought it'd be pretty nice.
We must stop for a moment. We will be back.
Why are we flashing? What's the problem?
I see a red dot. We're recording. No memory card error now. It seems, guys, that you change the battery out on the Canon. It either
Here it comes.
somehow locks the memory card, or it makes the camera think the memory card is locked, even though then you go to pull the memory card out to check to see if it's locked. It's not locked. So let those with the Canon G9X beware.
Or the memory card somehow became dislodged.
Oh no, there's it's a tight space up there. Yeah. Well, there's always a learning curve with this new equipment.
That's what she said.
What?
Nothing.
Oh. Well, having been in both, I'm going to tell you right now, the guys are a lot tighter.
I'm not gonna discuss my past experiences on camera. Oh.
What?
Well, this poor little guy's getting rained on. Oh, I like how they have
Somebody's got
the total coverage for the baby carriage.
You've got like
nice.
This. Oh, check out the rain! Oh my, it's
the rain coverage for the baby carriage. That's how
you guys got to see this here, folks.
Yeah, that's how you do it right there. That kid is living large.
Yeah, this is serious baby transport here in the UK. I've seen people fleeing hurricanes with less.
Well, in Puerto Rico, yeah.
I like the way that Japanese woman packed her kid up, and the husband packed, or the man anyway, packed this baby up the other day over there in the library.
You want to elaborate on that a little bit? Or?
Well, no, just a big plastic thing there, and it wasn't even raining, and the Goslings have been attracting a huge crowd here today. There's no question about it. So,
Oh, there's this poor woman standing underneath the bridge trying to keep dry.
Yeah, this woman's trying to stay dry. Here. We got. I'll tell you, if you're a kid over here, you want to play it smart and not let your parents know that you're walkable till you're about the age of 4.
Oh,
maybe,
yeah, because you're going to be
maybe 5.
Set up. You're going to be set up.
You're going to be treated like the Prince of Peace almost there, aren't you?
It's coming down.
No kidding, it's coming down here. See, I don't want to knock this down while I set my camera back here. So we can get cycled back here. I like this mirror effect here. You can check the screen in the mirror. You know, it's like having those little flip out screens like on the G7. Yeah, you sort of flip the thing out, you know, or one of these video thing, you know, the old style video cameras, dedicated video cameras. You know, like the Sonys, they had the flip out screens, you know. Remember those? They're still around, I think.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, not.
Tony had one of those.
Well, but digital.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not talking, you know.
Yeah, we had an old school, like, mini VHS one with the flip out screen.
I was going to take drugs one night. I'll take one again.
You were.
Well, when we get done talking, I will.
Is it time?
No, well, yeah, it's time. But
we'll take them.
It's not a big deal. It's not like, you know, my thesis is a drug in Joe is better than a drug not in Joe.
Better living through chemistry.
Oh, yeah. God didn't put those chemicals on Earth for us to let them go to waste.
Chemicals.
Yeah. Compounds, molecules, substances, matter.
Put this item in my body, and then this effect will occur.
Yeah, squirt some in and take a look.
Yeah.
Squirt some in and take a feel. The government tries to prevent that because it doesn't want anybody anywhere having fun. Doesn't matter what government, they're all like that. It's just a matter of how much money they can make off of it one way or the other.
I'm not taking the bait, man. I'm not. You know,
it's like being out on Allen Creek Lake with the spin casting rod.
I'll debate libertarianism with you all day long, but just, you know, come on, give me a break. You know, let's go back, shall we? Let's go back. Let us take a quick visit to Thomas Hobbes, right? Why do governments exist? Because the state of nature sucks. Because if you exist in the state of nature, unless you happen to be one of these big, giant behemoth guys, you're going to die.
Well, you know,
so governments exist ultimately to protect you.
Oh, you mean like your standard, your standard Durham Saturday night? Yeah. Dude,
I tell you right now, just about half the population of Durham would be doing just fine in the state of nature.
That's right. I don't think there's and they're on a big hill. I mean, it's easy to defend up here.
Yeah, go up to the castle.
That's right.
Go up to the cathedral.
That's
You'll be
right.
fine.
That's right.
You know,
they're gonna have any trouble.
Give me a sword and a few rounds of ammunition.
They got a source of water. Hell, they're okay.
So yeah, I mean, libertarian. You know, governments are annoying and intrusive, but ultimately, if government doesn't introduce certain regulations, greed and avarice and desire for power take over.
Yeah, human beings. So I assume you're a fan of Romans 13. Then the general message of Romans 13 being, do what you're damn told by the government. Because it's divinely ordained.
So that's not the general message of Romans 13.
Well, it really is. Only Tyndale then, sort of re-explicated that in Freedom of a Christian Man, which basically said that, when finally everything's really hit rock bottom, you're allowed to overthrow the sons of bitches.
We are required by Christ to follow the teachings of Christ first,
Yes.
Then laws second.
Well,
So laws that violate the teachings of Christ.
if they're good laws.
Laws that violate the teachings of Christ.
If they're good laws.
Okay. So again, you're
No.
embarrassing yourself. Because if they're good laws, then they don't violate the teachings of Christ.
That's correct.
So laws that violate the teachings of Christ should
That's
not be
correct.
followed. So you follow the rule of God, then the rule of law, then, at least in the United States, unless it's just an egregious, horrible, like terrible rule, then you follow the rule of law to change the law.
Well, then you follow the Constitution.
Yes. And only when you are violating people's natural rights, when the government violates.
Oh, you wait that long to
overtly-
get down to natural rights? See, I would have started them right at the top.
Well,
Right after Christ and God.
I mean, we're on the same page. I mean, it's hard to finish a sentence, but if the government is violating natural rights, then that is clear that it's time to then resist that.
When in the course of human events it becomes necessary.
Yeah. There you go. So, to get back to your thesis, right, the nanny state, these are not violating natural rights. They're annoying regulations, to be sure. Drug regulations, like you can't do this experiment on this person. Certainly, yes, but these are not violating natural rights. These are not laws that we need to rise up against and just blatantly ignore. We are not South Carolina. You are not John C. Calhoun.
I like
right?
John C. Calhoun.
John C. Calhoun is the single biggest reason for the fucking Civil War.
No, John
Like,
C. Calhoun
if I ever
was
went back and wrote a master's thesis,
John
my
C.
master's
was great.
thesis would be an indictment on John C. Calhoun for basically being the single one person to drive forward the Civil War.
John C. Calhoun and St. Cuthbert.
John C. Calhoun, I hope, and I'm quite sure,
I've decided
is burning in the fires of hell.
That'll be my next step. You'll have Cuthbert,
Yeah.
and then John C. Calhoun.
Yeah, right. Yeah. You know perfectly well I'm right. You know damn well I'm right. You're arguing just for the sake of argument, but you know perfectly well that John C. Calhoun is burning in the fires.
That was what
of hell.
debate was all about. You just argue for the sake of arguing. It's like a lawyer, being trained to argue both sides of a case.
Sure.
Yeah.
John C. Calhoun.
Then you get these people say, "Hey, but what do you really believe?"
Potentially the worst
Then if you
American.
really want to mess with their heads, it doesn't matter what I really believe.
Potentially the worst.
I'm a mouth for hire, honey.
Worst American ever. John C. Calhoun.
No, there are far worse Americans. I mean, I've run into a number of them down in OBADs.
I find it difficult to believe.
Well, you got. Yes, no, that's not hard to believe.
Oh, Jeffrey Dahmer.
Oh well, I think Gacy was worse than Dahmer.
Okay. Charles Manson, perhaps.
No, he was just a nutcase. They should just build his little walled compound in the desert so Janet Reno could come out with a tank and run it over like they did to that dude in Waco.
Yeah, he wasn't done humping his 8-year-olds yet, I guess.
Well, and then of course, then let us not forget the 14 armed agents that burst into Elian Gonzalez's relative's house and sent him back to the communist hellhole in Cuba.
Oh, let's not forget separating children from their parents at the border here.
Well, you know my attitude to immigration. I basically say, let anybody come anywhere they want to go.
I know.
And we are called to take care of the widows, orphans, and strangers among us. And yes, I know that can cause logistical problems. So just learn to deal with it. These are human beings, folks.
There's a great political cartoon I saw on the webs the other day. It's like this border patrol agent's coming home and his beautiful little daughter is saying, "Did you have a good day at work, Daddy? Did you take any children away from their families today?" And border patrol is like, "Why, yes, honey. I separated at least 3 innocent children from their families today. It was a good day." Yeah.
Is that like a Saturday Night Live opening?
No, it was a political cartoon.
Probably will be, though.
Yeah, it will be. Yeah. Yeah, if you're brown and speak Spanish, this isn't really the best time to come to the United States of America. I guess. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, if you're going to come to this country, I prefer you follow the rules. I do. But
now remember when you say this country.
well, I'm talking about the United States.
Yeah, but,
so
I know one of my viewers will point that out.
I am currently in the United Kingdom, so let me reiterate that I'm talking about the United States.
Yeah, we don't have a dog in the United Kingdom's fight.
Yeah, they can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
When you come to the United States, I would prefer that you do it legally.
Well,
But if you happen to come to the United States,
then make it easy for that to happen. Don't make it hard for that to happen.
because you know, if you happen to come to the United States because, you know, like you're starving or you're you know, the drug cartels basically run you out of your home.
Or you're gay.
Right. Or whatever. Sure, gay, whatever. Pregnant.
Trans.
Whatever. You should be treated humanely.
Well, yes. Well, all people should be treated humanely regardless.
Yeah. Because we should also remember that there's a certain basic level of human dignity that all people deserve.
Not like that strip search on that 93-year-old woman in a wheelchair that I read about the other day. You know, in the adventures in TSA land.
I think my first education into the misuse of power, or maybe not the misuse of power, but certainly the I don't even know what to say about it. When I was 15 years old, there was this woman, there was this sort of quasi-senile woman from the old folks' home just across the way that would walk into the grocery store where I worked.
Yeah.
And she'd pick up a banana and she'd eat it. And then she'd throw the peel away.
On the floor or in a trash can?
No, she'd throw it away in a trash can. And then she might or might not purchase other items, and then she'd walk out. And
well, she'd purchase the items.
the item.
But she didn't purchase bananas.
Right.
No.
And now, as the story had been told to me, she had been warned.
Folklore. I like folklore.
Well, I mean, she'd been warned, you know, several times by the store security guy. She'd been warned verbally several times. Listen, you know, you cannot come in here and eat stuff and not pay for it. So apparently, on her third or fourth time doing
Fruit 101 for you, man.
yeah, well, so they had this like 135-year-old woman. I mean, she wasn't that old.
Did they handcuff her?
Yep.
No.
They had CPD come in and handcuff her and haul her ass away.
Oh.
And the cop, I was right there bagging groceries the whole
It's
time.
like reality world, isn't it?
I was standing right by the security office the whole time, and the Columbus police officer was like, "All right, you know, he's like, are you sure you really want to press charges?"
Yeah. Do you want to make me do
And this super queenie, kind of gay, imposing, weird security officer is like, "Yes, I have warned her several times.
Oh, geez.
I have warned her at least 3 times that she can't come in here and eat bananas. She needs to go away." And he turns to her and he goes, I told you what would happen.
And he calls me.
I told you what would happen if you came in here and you ate bananas.
He calls me back.
And like this woman looked up at him like with this kind of this palsy. And she didn't say a word. She goes, and then you know, she just kind of like looks around and she didn't say a word. And the cop's like, "Do you really want her?" And cops, and you know, "Do you really want to press charges?" And he's like, "Yes." And so they cuffed this poor old woman, and they walked her ass out to the squad car and they arrested her.
Oh no! And then did the lightning bolt come down and strike, you know, this dude?
I don't know, man. This guy had some hate in his heart. This is the same guy. There was this old bum that used to come in, and now to be fair, he'd give you the one verbal warning, or two, or in this woman's case, apparently 2 or 3 verbal warnings. So there's this bum that would come in, and he'd drink Listerine.
He'd drink Listerine?
Yeah, he'd come in.
It is 21% alcohol.
Yeah, he'd come in. And when no one was looking, he'd go in there and he'd rip open a pack of Listerine and start swinging down Listerine. So he got busted once. This guy kicked him out. He got busted again.
It's like fine blended wine.
Had his ass arrested. Well, I can't believe this guy wasn't thrown up all over the place. I mean, well, I mean, once you get to that point.
Well, the thymol will eventually make you throw up in that thing. Yeah, it's the thymol that makes it last forever. It's the thymol that makes your sink turn orange.
Home Slice is not walking up to the Market District to buy action figures now.
Oh, that's well, this is.
Oh, it's only 421.
This is like summer in the U.S. serious afternoon rain. I'll tell you.
Home Slice is not going to walk up to Tesco.
So here it is. Well, it's summer in the Durham, England serious rain. Yeah.
This is the first real rain we've had the entire time now.
Well, we had a downpour, I guess, while you were asleep earlier one morning.
But it was super brief.
Yeah, it was very brief. Yeah, it was like, boom, that's it. Yeah. Let's see. Subluxing. He's subluxing, so. He's a clicking guy. You can hear him subluxing up and down his spine.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, man, when we have like the father-in-law suite and like,
Father-in-law suite? I'm your father. What do you mean father-in-law suite?
Well, I mean father-in-law suite from Kelly's perspective.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like when we have the from my perspective, the father suite. What are you gonna do, right?
So
you're gonna
like
you're gonna have to play
suite.
ball, man. You can't just sit around and
no, Kelly will dominate the conversation as is her right, since she's the woman and she lives in the house.
There's so much I could say.
What?
But I'm not going to say it
Why?
on camera.
Well, what?
Well, you know why.
Well, no, I don't know what. I mean, that's to
Well,
me.
that's
That's the
why-
way
that's
every
why I'm
straight
gonna say
household I've ever been in works. I mean, the wife dominates what goes on in the house.
So here's what's going to happen.
The guys that are there
Like,
sort of
what
put up with it.
What are you going to do? I mean, we're going to have to figure out how to manage your weirdness, man, because, you can't.
Well, no, I know how to behave in the public
We're
areas.
just going to have you.
I know how to behave in the public areas.
You're going to have like your own little separate bathroom.
Well, that would be good.
Oh, yeah, it's absolutely essential. We're going to have to figure that out.
You better get me an ensuite.
Oh, it's gonna be. We're gonna have to buy a ranch house. It'll be a ranch house. We're gonna buy a ranch house.
Well, I know unless you want to try to kill me, put me on the second, set me on the second floor.
We're gonna buy a ranch house, YouTubers, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna find like the far end, and we're gonna have like a little father suite with like a little bathroom, and he'll hobble out once in a while, and that'll be fine. I don't know how else to deal with you, because if you're not going to take care of this shit, eventually you're.
What shit?
Well, because listen.
Surgery doesn't help. Surgery doesn't help this stuff. It's got a statistically, and it's well established now. It's a 50-50 chance of doing anything.
That's totally fine, and I'm not going to discuss. I'm not going to argue that. You're right. I mean, you're right.
It has not even reached the point of even being considered for surgery anyway.
Yeah, but at some point.
And I'll go home. I'll be able to go back into my routine, and it'll be. This took me completely by surprise.
You need to like start then like paying people to come in and like mow once in a while.
I don't need that.
And like clean out your gutters once in a while.
Well, every spring I'm going to have these dudes.
At least every spring.
Well, every spring.
At least once a year.
Yeah. I'm glad these guys came by, because I will have them, if they come over here to do once they get a circuit of work, and I'll have them come over and work every spring.
Just fucking please have somebody haul that pile of shit away.
What pile of shit?
If you give me a second, I'll finish. Have somebody haul away the pile of shit in front of your fucking house.
What?
And put up like at least some steps.
Now wait a minute.
If you don't, let me finish. Jesus Christ!
Oh, you mean the front porch?
If you don't want to redo the front porch.
Oh no, he needs the front porch.
Well, yes, and if I'd had an extra 15 seconds to build up.
Well, why did you just say front porch?
Because I wanted to test your limits, and apparently I found them. So But at least have somebody build some reasonable steps
Well,
that are safe
Well,
to the front door of your house.
if I had been doing,
and or rebuild the front porch. Now, I tell you, that front porch, that's a $2,000 job.
if I hadn't been doing this trip this year, I would have had that done this year. That was on the agenda for this year. But this was far more important. This is far more important to me to be with Thomas here in Durham than to rebuild that front porch.
First of all, I cry bullshit. Second of all, you've
true.
got the money.
No,
Yes, you do.
No, I'd like to have a cushion. I like to have a cushion.
You've got $2,500 for somebody to come in and build you a little front porch there.
Well, I've got more if he does it right, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But I tell you right now, $2,500, $3,000, you'd have a nice little front porch that's safe.
Well, if I'm going to have a porch, I want to have like a porch.
Well, then don't have a porch, or just have a step.
Well,
but I mean,
I
have all that shit hauled away.
I want to be able to go out and maybe like take a folding chair out.
There you go.
And then ideally have like a little thing over to keep that rain from falling down on it and freezing in the wintertime.
The porch that you used to have was not at all unreasonable. That little front.
My life is good. And here we have some more transporting of the children in the rain here in the UK, although the rain has actually let up now. The child seems to have gone into orbital mode. Very nice, very nice. Oh, looks like the dad's turning around to go back. I always love the way you can always hear them when they preface, mommy, may I? It's always they're so courteous, I'm getting ready to raise hell, but I'm going to be courteous about asking you if I can do it first. I love it. Well, they're doing something better about raising kids over here than we are, that's for sure.
Right. It's not like there's a error. I mean, until there's an error.
Oh, you're saying so there's an intrinsic defect in the card itself.
Well, no, well, I mean, perhaps, but I'm not saying.
Well, I guess you're saying that
there's either an intrinsic defect in one particular part of the card.
The one.
There's there's been an error in the recording process from the camera to the card.
Okay.
Which they're going to blame on the card, right?
Okay.
So I mean, there's a number of errors that are going to occur.
Okay. Well, okay, I see your point. No, this may well be a defective card. No. Or simply a mistake in the camera. Or worse, a defective camera. But on the other hand, that other 64 gigabyte memory card filled up just fine without one time doing this thing.
And it could be entirely possible that there's one small defect in the card.
Well, that one small defect in the card is going to be enough to keep me from using the card. I may just have to just eject, just pitch this bad boy when I get home.
Except for after you extract it.
I'll take the stuff. Take the stuff off this and put the thing, and maybe it's like adios motherfucker on that one. Yeah. Yeah, there's a certain amount of wastage that goes on with this computer. It's like the Fahrenheit the care and feeding of a computer is quite expensive. The care and feeding of a dad is quite expensive. But you haven't had to do that yet.
What?
Care and feed for me.
No, I haven't. Hence the ranch style.
There'll be enough money for me to pay my share.
Not.
By the grace of God.
No, because you'll be dead. I mean, the whole point is to have you alive while we're taking care of you.
Well, yeah. It's called interest.
Ranch house. En-suite bathroom for dad. Lots of handlebars.
I like handlebars. Oh, they're called grab bars. The technical term is grab bars.
Well, It's the great question. Which of the 3 living parents is going to win the prize?
Win the prize. Who will win the race?
Yeah. So my argument
it's
is,
like St. Paul's always talking about winning the race and wearing the crown.
My argument is that since
Ouch.
there's only you on my side left, and there's still the Weatherbees left, then you get first admission into Shay Kersey. But you're a stubborn bastard, so you probably wouldn't move in anyway.
Well, do I have to leave my island of peace?
Well, by definition, living in the house would be.
Would that be in the city?
That'd be over on the east side.
Oh, gee,
somewhere.
no.
Where are you going? It's not like you're going anywhere.
What?
By the time you're living with us, it won't matter. It's not like you're going anywhere.
I love my island of peace. It's not my island of peace anyway. It's God's island of peace.
Well, your island of peace hasn't been that well taken care of for a while, and it's going to get overwhelming for you.
God is taking care of that island of peace.
Not for that much longer.
Yeah, he is.
No.
What are you doubting? Are you doubting God's care for me?
Dad, I'm doubting your physical ability to actually live alone.
I think
at a certain point.
I think the man underestimates. He sees me in weak. He sees my weaknesses and tries to weasel in to plant doubts.
What I'm saying is that at some point, very soon, you're not gonna. You already really don't take care of the place.
Why don't you be like the otter that came in and warmed up Cuthbert's feet? I'm standing out in an ocean,
There you go.
and sometimes when I need a little help,
There you go.
I need otters to warm my feet. Why don't you be the otter?
I'll be the otter. The otter will be, hey, Dad, we have this whole room and extra bathroom. Come hang out and live with us.
That would be an interest. That'd be almost like the David Attenborough show,
As long as you stay holed up in your own little chamber, it'll be fine.
Oh, so now I'm to be I'm to be an anchorite. I'm to be an anchorite in my son's house.
I'm kidding. I'm completely kidding. But honestly, yes. To answer your initial question, yeah.
Yeah, it's so surreal to see that vulva hanging over your head while you're talking.
You would have to give up your island of peace.
Where's?
No, seriously, stop.
I'm fixated on this thing.
No, I know. Stop for a moment.
Okay.
Contemplate, think, and listen.
Well, it's hard with that.
Stop. Collaborate and listen. Thomas is back with a brand new edition. Right. You will have to actually, not live at your house. You would live
that's tragic.
in the father suite at the new ranch-style house. And all of your shit that you have, we would have to figure out.
How about my books? How about what am I going to do with my books?
Well, we'd have to figure that out. I mean, we'd have to talk about that. I mean, either we'd have to put them in storage.
No.
Or we'd have to.
They don't do well in storage.
Well, they're going to do a lot. They're not going to do any worse in storage than they do, where you are now.
Well, I understand that. I don't want them to do worse.
Well, exactly. In storage, they would be at least in a humidity and temperature controlled
No, you'd have rats running around chewing on them.
Not really. No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Having used storage, I can tell you no. Having used storage very successfully, I can tell you no.
Okay.
That's kind of what you're paying money for. But what do you care? Because
I value books intrinsically for themselves as objects.
I understand that, but let's really get down to the nitty gritty. How often do you look at these books?
You'd be surprised. There are a lot of times I will go when I leave a comment on a YouTube video and reference a book, and I'll go and give the bibliographical information on a book. I live a rich and full social life on YouTube.
Which you could continue to do while under supervision, so that you don't fucking die.
Supervision?
Yeah, supervision. What the fuck do you think you're going to be doing when you live in my house? You're gonna be living in your own little end of the house, and like you'll have your own little area, but basically you're gonna be.
I'll have to wear one of those ankle things.
Well, no.
I'll have to wear one of those GPS tractors.
Probably not. Unless you get weird.
Are you gonna have me chipped? You're gonna have me chipped, microchipped.
Would you let us do that?
No, I wouldn't let you do that.
No, we won't chip you then. But think of it this way. Think of it as a way for you to live a full life without you dying out there in the middle of nowhere.
Maybe that's what God has intended for me. Maybe God intends for me to die out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
It's not for me to know the mind of God.
I know, but I can tell you right now, it's not. Simple problems have simple solutions.
Saint Simeon said that he knows who's God.
Saint Thomas the Kersey said, simple problems have simple solutions.
St. Thomas also said, my Lord and my God.
And so, like, when you can't walk around anymore, understand, I'm not saying we're going to do this in 6 months. I'm saying...
Well, I got a trip planned 6 months. I go walk around Eastern Europe.
I understand, that's my point. But I'm saying here...
Central Europe.
In the next year...
Berlin.
Or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5... Maybe it's time for you to come in from the pasture and hang out. Hang out in the ranch style house.
I'm not ready to be milked yet.
What's that?
I'm not ready to be milked yet.
Well, and certainly there'd be, but don't you think it would be nice to have
my coat's not ready to be shorn yet.
A nice, safe place to go. Where you're not living out there in the middle of nowhere on your own.
I'm not in the middle of nowhere. Have you seen the amount of traffic goes by my house? Nowhere. I wish I was nowhere.
I've seen your house, and home slice. You're not exactly maintaining the place.
Oh, you and you're maintaining. You've got this suburban mentality about maintaining.
Suburban.
I grew up.
Negative ghostwriter.
I grew up in the country.
This is not a suburban mentality.
Where basically God took care of everything, and that's what you trusted in.
Until you decide to clean the gutters out and do some other basic shit. So this is not.
The last time I got up on a ladder, I fell off and something bad happened to me. Do you think you want me to seriously get up on a?
No.
I have these guys come over. All these guys come over.
That's my point. Well, it's not like you don't have the fucking money.
Then what's the problem?
So spend the money, man.
I just did. I spent $3,000. I spent $3,300 on trees taken out and the gutters cleaned.
Have somebody come out
and the roof cleaned off and all this stuff.
Good.
Have you seen?
Have somebody come out and mow. Have somebody come out and fucking rebuild your front porch.
Did you see?
Have somebody come out and clean the gutters once or twice a year.
No, it just needs once. Did you see the change these guys wrought? WR.
Yes, and I thought it was wonderful.
OUG.
But my point is it's not like you don't have the money.
Well, okay.
So spend the money and fucking do it.
I did.
Do it. Keep doing it.
You were haranguing me in the future tense about something that's happened in the past tense.
No. I celebrate what you've done in the past tense. What I would like.
Oh, I didn't get a sense of celebration there.
No. Oh,
I got a sense of grinding conflict.
No. In this conversation, perhaps. But when you initially did it, if you recall, and you can go back and look at the emails, which I'm sure you have, you'll note that I celebrated your decision.
Not on this computer.
Okay, whatever. I don't care about this fucking computer. What I want to say
this computer.
is continue to maintain your house. Pay somebody to come out at least once a month. Jesus Christ! Shut up
this
for a
sounds
second.
Like the peroration of the end of the prayers of the people.
Fuck! Shut up!
Stand fast in what is good.
Mow your lawn. Repair your front porch. Keep your gutters clean. It's not that fucking hard, and you have the money to do it. Do it.
It's a liturgy for a suburban homeowner. Mow your yard.
No,
clean your gutters.
Dad. This is not just about
stand fast.
So here's the thing, right? You want to know why your basement floods? Your basement floods because you went 20 years without cleaning your gutters. Yes, it does.
No, the basement flood because the house is settled and the foundation's cracked.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to argue with you about it. I know I'm right, so I'm not going to argue.
Well, go down and look there, and you can see the cracks. That's why it floods.
It floods because you have water running down the sides of your foundation.
It didn't flood until the house settled, foundation cracked, and the floor cracked. So it's like why are people damn near falling down every time they walk over here? Because everything's settled over the last 1,000 years, and it's like.
So here's the thought. Clean your gutters. Spend $2,000 and put in a sump pump.
Do you know a guy?
Redo your fucking front porch.
Do you know a guy to do that sump pump thing?
Yeah.
I'd gladly have somebody dig a little trench down in a hole.
Do it.
Well, give me a name.
Fuck, just do it. Call somebody and do it.
No, I don't want to call somebody I don't trust. If you know somebody that you trust, I'll call him.
All right, I'll dig up a number. Redo your front porch, man. Seriously. Fuck.
Well, I would have done this year. Next year, I will call John Starr.
Next year?
Well, I don't have the money this year.
Oh, fuck, you don't.
I do not.
Oh, my God.
You don't know what money I have.
I know perfectly well that now that you're retired. Now that you're retired.
I like to maintain a cushion. I'm going to tell you here, 7,000 here and 7,000 there. Pretty soon we're talking real money.
Yeah, I understand that. But first of all, I know I have a general idea about the kind of money you're drawing monthly. B, you're vastly overestimating the cost of a little front porch. And unless you want to do something really dramatic, it'll be about $3,000 to replace what you had. To give you the equivalent of what you had in front of you would be less than $3,000.
I didn't like that. That was a shitty wood for one thing.
But my point is that if you wanted to overdo it, fine. But my point is, you're talking $3,000 or $4,000.
I want to do this in treated composite plastic.
Fucking do it, man. It's
if I do it,
$4,000.
I don't want. I don't even want treated lumber. I want that neat composite stuff.
Great.
And I want like a little metal roof over it, so that
$5,000 done.
Well, there you are.
Boom. Then do it, man.
I don't have a spare $5,000 this year.
Oh my God.
Next year I will, by the grace of God. It's not like I don't sort of like plan these things out in my head a few years.
Yeah, I also know the kind of cushion you like to sit on, and I know perfectly well you've got it.
That can be wiped. That can be wiped away in a heartbeat.
In which case, you can come and live. Shay Thomas.
All my life. Well, I was raised this way, and so were you.
Until I was saddled with a wife that spends money like it's going like it's your job.
That's just the way life works sometimes. Look, the heart wants what the heart wants.
Well, yeah, I mean, 15 years in, you're in. What they don't tell you is 15 years in, when you're 15 years in,
witness me and Sam.
Give me a break.
What?
Sam, that's a crack argument, dude. Come on.
No, I said the heart wants what the heart wants.
Well, that's true. That part.
Well, that was what I was driving at.
15 years in, you and Sam would not be getting along. 10 years in, you and Sam would not be getting along.
I don't know.
5 years in, you.
Well, we never had a chance to find out.
No, you're not, because he was ridiculously younger than you, and you didn't let it go. It's not. It was an awesome, amazing,
Philistine,
incredible experience, and you should enjoy that experience for what it was.
Philistine.
But you should understand the experience was what it was. It ain't gonna happen, man.
Straight people.
It's not gonna happen.
Straight people.
You know I'm right.
Straight people.
Fuck straight people. You know I'm right.
Straight people.
Ask all your gay friends. You know I'm
Well,
right.
I don't have that many gay friends.
Well, that's probably your fault too. But understand this. You know I'm right. It does. And by the way, don't give me this straight person bullshit.
I knew that was coming. I was waiting for that one.
Because I have. I can tell you right now, straight, gay, or otherwise, relationships are relationships.
Well, I would agree. I would have to agree with you.
There you go.
I have no way to disagree with that.
Yeah. So a 67-year-old, retired doc isn't going to have a long-standing, meaningful, deep, live-in, let's get married kind of relationship with how old was he? 28?
I think it's going to be 30 in December.
Yeah, so a 30-year-old fucking oil driller from Australia.
No.
And how do you think that's going to work? Really? You think that's going to work? Come on.
There are so many.
Give me a break.
There are so many buried social assumptions in that is just beyond belief.
And yet, And yet, in the deep, dark moments of the night, when no fucking camera is on, and you're really thinking about it, you'll know I'm right.
Well, he's not, but that's.
I am right.
But
I am absolutely right.
Well,
Because fantasy life.
well,
is
maybe
amazing.
maybe that's why I wake up all the damn time at
Well,
night. You
maybe.
know, because you're still chomping around my head while I'm trying to sleep.
Fantasy life is amazing.
Are you on a search and destroy mission in my head?
I'm on a reality mission, home slice, and I'll tell you right now that Sam was amazing. Sam was a great guy. I met him for 10 seconds, and I was like, this guy.
No, you met it for about a half hour.
Okay, you understand my point.
Oh, I see. Yes.
Right, I exaggerate. Fine. I met him for 43 minutes. The point is.
No, that is not how Sam talks. I can tell you that right now.
Well, I wasn't imitating how Sam talks. I met him for a brief period of time, but I can tell you right now, he was a fantastic, wonderful person. Absolutely. You can totally tell that. Absolutely. But do you really think that this is going to happen?
Well, I didn't travel halfway across the world to visit him. He traveled halfway across the world to see me.
Yeah, well, in the inner, like after you follow your thoughts through to conclusion, you realize that your energy is being wasted. You have a certain amount of energy that you can use. Do you want to use this energy to think about things that are not going to happen, or do you want to use this energy to make things that are realistic happen? That's my point. That's simply my point. I mean, off camera, we can get into all kinds of ways I can hook you up with people like actually like sort of close to your age.
Oh, it's the first time hearing about this now.
Oh, you never asked. You never asked, and you never want to listen.
No, wait a minute. Those are two different statements. Yeah.
And they're both accurate.
No, I admit I never asked.
Yeah.
Because it never occurred to me, and I would dispute the assertion that I don't want to listen.
My perception is that you don't want to listen. That's my perception.
No,
I might be wrong.
No,
I might be wrong.
Perceptions are perceptions. You know, it's like perceptions are like, you know, why do you like the color blue?
You're a difficult dude, right? You don't want to leave your space. Oh my gosh, we've had this conversation so many times, right?
But in order for,
you don't want to leave your space.
But that's the default. You know, you got to show me there's a reason for me to change something that's very dear to me significantly. You know, just out of the blue.
Well, by leave your space, I mean like for a day, for a night, for an evening. Right? You have to be willing to put yourself out there if you want to engage in human contact. I mean, by definition, in order to build a friendship, relationship, whatever, to get to know somebody, you have to be willing to open yourself up, right? So how can you do that sitting in your own little cocoon in your house without actually physically leaving your place and going out and meeting people? Now, I understand it's the 21st century and it's super weird and, like, you know, you're not the kind of guy that's going to go out and do that kind of stuff. But you know, there are safe and meaningful venues for meeting things and for doing things.
Safe and meaning.
Safe meaning like I'm not going to get shot in the head. Meaningful, like this isn't like, you know, Grindr. Which, I mean, that's fine. Having a hookup.
No, I've never met anybody on Grindr, you know, went anywhere.
Grindr or Tinder or whatever the hell it's called.
Well, Craigslist was always far more productive for me.
Here you go.
Well, Craigslist just cut that stuff off.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
Because of all the idiotic nonsense.
Why do you pursue that avenue? You pursue that avenue because you don't actually have to get up off your ass and go out and do things. But if you engaged in the community, if you engaged and did stuff, you would meet people. And there would be people that would be like, oh, wow, this is an interesting guy. Like, I want to spend time with this guy. But you don't leave your house. Do you want to sit?
I go to church.
That's well, okay. Yeah. How many gay dudes are you meeting at church, Dad?
Well, I mean, there are about 3 less since this new interim came in and drove them away with all this family values bullshit.
I'm gonna hook you up with.
They weren't, you know, I mean, anybody I'd want to, you know, do anything with. But I mean, it'd be interesting to sort of, you know, heard them talk about, you know, other people they knew and things.
I have some acquaintances I'm going to hook you up with. I'm not going to mention their names on camera, but I have some acquaintances I'm going to hook you up with. I'm going to give them your name, and I'm going to like, my dad needs to have somebody like.
Oh, there aren't going to be any of these footy dudes, are they?
I don't know about flitty. I mean, what do you mean flitty?
Well, you know what I mean by flitty. Well, like your little imitations you've been doing.
No, nothing like that. I mean, nothing that deliberate. And the only imitation I was doing was like an accurate imitation of that one guy. That's literally how.
No, I understand that one. Yeah.
And that's literally how he talked.
I understand that.
So I mean, that was the only imitation I did. And that's literally how he talked.
That's not
He was a
the kind of
crazy psycho
That's not
weirdo.
the